Court is now in session.
It's the Roocap episode.
We should do a theme song for the Roocap. That would actually be great.
That's what that was, Ben.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you are the king of the episode. Like, what are they called? The little jingles at the start of an episode or a TV show.
I think it's called a jingle.
A jingle?
Is that just what it's called? Hey, you're king of the jingles.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Jingle King.
But yeah, in case it wasn't clear, it's our Roocap episode today. Who's excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I love
excited.
recapping all the ways that we were wrong.
I'm excited and a little sad because it's our last video episode too.
Oh,
It is.
that's true.
It does take the pressure off what I'm going to wear, though. That's a
That's-
nice release.
Wow.
We
Did
won't
you
have
feel
any
that
moments.
pressure, Ben?
Yeah, I felt that pressure every single day. Just like, even in the lead up, a couple of days before, man, what am I going to wear for the video recording?
No one's going to get to see your glorious mustache anymore.
No.
I know. That's all right. They'll just have to follow us on social media and maybe I'll put an update every now and then.
That
You
is
boys
true.
are the hat hombres today.
We are the hat hombres
Hey.
today. I like it.
Alliteration. Well, cool. Hey, we're going to start off the episode on a little bit more of a somber note than we usually would.
Mm.
This is
We
true.
thought we'd get it out of the way and then get kicked into all the fun stuff.
That's right. So if anyone was tuning into last week's episode, we had Joey make a guest appearance in Matt Weston, and he very graciously offered his time to come and ask us some would you rather questions. But before we started answering the questions, we asked him about the medal on his bedroom wall, where he mentioned it was the medallion he received for winning the winter season cricket grand final. And I proceeded to make a big joke of that because cricket is a summer sport. So to win it in winter when no one else is playing it felt like it defeated the purpose a little bit. But it came across, it was meant to be more of a comment in jest, and it came across very harsh. So Matt, I apologize for dismissing your greatest achievement in cricket. And I'm very sorry about that. It is well done on winning your grand final, in which the boys very kindly immediately pointed out that I did not win my grand final. So you're one up on me there. Well done. And I'm sorry.
We're all sorry, Matt. We're sorry that
Yeah.
that you had to sit through that and that we didn't say anything sooner. Our apologies.
Yeah, we should have intervened in the moment. We apologize.
We did intervene, but it was to great will instead of lift Matt up. So maybe. I mean, that's very podcast. That's very us-like.
Very
Yeah,
on
that's
brand.
on brand. Yeah.
Well, you know what else is on brand is that I think that really reminded me of Will's story in season 1 of picking on the little 7-year-old kid during the game as well.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
I think you got to build a new image for yourself, Will.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. We made a joke earlier just before we started recording that if we built up a compilation of everything Will said this season, we could have it on the Roocap episode and it only last 30 seconds long. But, Will, I'd never actually seen you be a bully like that before. You're usually the quiet guy who doesn't say much. And so I just kick off the Roocap episode. I'd like for you to speak a little bit more. And what I'm going to give you is 30 seconds to diss all of us. So 30 seconds to diss Ben, 30 seconds to diss Brad, 30 seconds to diss myself. And I'd just like to see how that goes. But your 30 seconds on Brad starts right... No, hold up.
Oh, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah,
No.
it
There we
starts
are.
right now.
Come on.
No. This is going to be a very terrible segment, James. I'm very sorry.
You got 20 more seconds on
I'm
Brad.
waiting.
Are you just? No.
I find it funny that you're happy to beat up on other people, but you're not happy to beat up on your friends. Like, that's
Yeah.
interesting. We're the safest people to beat up on. We like you, Will.
That's exact, mate. You've right. That's 30 seconds on Brad. Unfortunately, Brad, you don't get this,
Aw.
but you are the most pastoral person that we know. So congratulations on being so caring.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will, it's now
And
your
congratulations
turn
on being a tuba guy.
Will, it's now your turn to diss Ben, and we need you to play the game. The first rule of improv, and we all know this podcast is improv, is to always say yes. So I need you to say yes. This is 30 seconds on Ben going now.
My one diss for Ben would be that he chooses to support a terrible team in the AFL. How you could support the Hawks is just baffling. Clearly, the Lions are the greatest, and I'm very glad that you have decided to move to Brisbane, so you're part of the way there to being truly converted to the good side.
That's good. You got 8 more seconds, Will.
No, that's enough.
Let's sing the song. We are the pride of Brisbane.
No, that's it. That's
gonna
30 seconds done.
That's going to get flagged on YouTube now, guys, now that you've sung that song.
It's not how it works. Well, now this should be
spot
easy.
on.
You now got 30 seconds to diss me. Go.
How could I diss you? I just said you were the funniest person. There's nothing I could say. Like, it's...
Wow.
Nah,
Do you have a man crush on James?
definitely.
What I'm getting from this, Will, is because you're such a nice guy, is that you really hate Ben.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And Matt.
Yeah.
8 more seconds.
It's not that I hate Matt. It just was meant to be a comment that was to get a laugh because, cricket is a summer sport, but I just didn't deliver it in a way that
Done.
produced a laugh.
Well,
Because-
that's enough.
Can
That's enough,
Brutal.
Will. That's
Can
enough.
I just also note that Will defended the fact that he didn't hate Matt, but he didn't say anything about the fact that he didn't hate me. So it's good to know where we stand, Will.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
that's an interesting segment. I think we could get traction with that next season. So stick around next season.
I
Where
don't
we get
think...
Will to talk about random topics off the cuff and see how he goes.
Oh, God.
I thought you were going to say we go around and diss each other for 30 seconds.
That'd be too easy, I think, for some of us.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
I don't
That's
have
good,
any
Will.
real issues with any of you boys. So
Aw.
that's
Thanks,
a
mate.
terrible segment idea.
Well, it doesn't have to be disses each time. I think it's just funny trying to watch you talk off the cuff. But hey,
not.
Brad's got a recap for us now as well.
Well, we all know that earlier in the season, I had to come up with something that was a new hobby. And you guys, the listeners at home, our wonderful, valued Joeys decided I was going to knit. Well, I have some great success. You ready? The one I showed you before wasn't really working out, so I kind of changed tack. And I really took some inspiration from Ben's recommend earlier on about knitting a nightie. Look what I knitted. It took me a while.
Stop it.
But like you can see, I've just taken the needle out of it. I'm so comfy. It's perfect.
Stop it.
Hey, what wool did
Stop
you
it.
use?
It is super wool. Yeah.
Also, did you happen to like brand it with Brad's knits? What does the tag say at the top?
The tag actually says
Can you show it?
woman.
Woman.
No,
Love
it's
Well done, Brad.
this is where I'm still up to. I haven't done any more since last I showed you because I hate it. It is not therapeutic. I don't enjoy it. And this little loopy thing at the end here, I just can't deal with that. So I'm done. Thanks
We have
for
a new hobby for next season, mate. Maybe we
Yeah.
can come back after the break with a new
Yeah,
hobby.
right. Let's come up with some non-knitting types of hobbies for next
Yeah.
season. I'm happy to give it a crack in season 3.
I think you should take up mountain biking, Brad.
It's an expensive hobby.
It is so expensive, right?
I'd be up for that. I'd be up for some mountain biking or some hiking or something. But yeah, might leave it to the Joeys. What's Brad's hobby for season 3?
Great.
Yeah, I'm keen for that.
We haven't been doing this. We should be gaveling.
Oh yeah.
So last episode, I asked everyone to jump on TikTok for a week, and I'd love to hear how people found it, whether they got distracted on the TikTok, whether they enjoyed watching the videos, whether they got caught in the never-ending cyclone of videos. How did that go for you guys?
Well, I did download it. So firstly, I want to show something from one of our awesome Joeys who posted this during the week on our Facebook page. If I can, I've lost it now. That's brilliant. Brilliantly done, Brad. Well done.
Good interneting, Brad.
Yeah, here we go. So this is a meme that Matthias, our wonderful Joey, put up, which I think is a brilliant meme. Because it started as an intervention. And how on earth did we all end up having to do TikTok? Anyway, I just laughed pretty hard at that.
That's great.
Yeah,
I didn't even
same.
see that.
It's a good meme,
Oh,
hey?
it's a great meme.
One of the best memes I've seen. But I did download it, and I thought, I better have a crack. Saturday morning, Mercy's at work. I slept in a bit, kind of woke up, and I thought, what am I going to do this morning? And I thought, I might just hop on the phone and look on TikTok. I started watching it, and then I looked up, and it was 45 minutes later. I just stayed in bed and was just doing this across videos. And I think I laughed really, really hard at some funny things twice in it. And by the end of that 45 minutes, I was like, I cannot keep doing this because it will just be a massive time suck. So it is now deleted from my phone and I will never be doing it again. So the place where I landed was, one, I'm probably too old to really enjoy it. And two, I'm definitely too old to be on it. That's where I landed.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will, what did you think?
I downloaded it and I got through my week, spent just a little bit of time on it each day, and then as soon as the week was done, deleted it because it reminded me of the last time I was on it, and I was like, yeah, I don't need to be spending my time on that anymore. And so I got
What
rid of
video
it.
trends did you watch then, Will? What were some of the trends that came up?
I just was flicking through.
So you didn't engage with it?
Not really.
Well,
Mine ended up getting onto fail videos, and I actually do enjoy them. But
yeah, that's good. There's a lot of baby videos on my feed at the moment, and they're adorable. Ben, how'd you go downloading it?
I didn't really.
classic Ben.
Doesn't matter then. Don't need to hear from Ben.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got a lot to say on the topic.
You got nothing to contribute, mate.
I've got a lot to say on the topic.
You seem to have a lot to say about things that you've never tried.
Well, I feel like I get TikTok because it appears on Facebook. So all of the videos that,
How
pop
often are you
on
on
TikTok,
Facebook, Ben?
I don't know, more often than I'm on TikTok. So
Fair.
the videos make it across, but TikTok I just think is
I'm just hearing a lack of commitment to the podcast is what I'm hearing. It's a lack of commitment.
I get that. I feel like it was probably just a greater commitment to my own personal well-being. I think that's kind of what it was. I just realized 100%. What was being required of me. And I was like, you know what, this is going to be a waste of my own time and just personal safety. I actually found an article that I just wanted to share with the court and with the Joeys around TikTok. Just one paragraph from that article. It says this: the US Armed Forces have forbidden personnel from using it, describe it as a threat to cybersecurity. Israeli cybersecurity company Checkpoint has investigated it and concluded it has backdoors and major vulnerabilities, as well as overall security issues. The US government's investigating it. Reddit CEO and co-founder Steve Huffman describes it as fundamentally parasitic app that's always listening and has warned against installing what he calls spyware. And several children advocacy groups say it poses a clear risk to children. And Apple claims it has caught TikTok using clipboard capture mechanisms to spy on millions of users. So, enjoy the memes, guys, but just stay safe on TikTok. It's
Mate, have you found
it's dangerous?
You'd find that article on all social media, though, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was the exact same one for Facebook and Instagram as well. But
Snapchat.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm talking about TikTok right now, and I'm trying to prove why I was wise in not downloading it because I didn't want to be spied on because of my commitment to my personal privacy.
I appreciate that. I really think your opinion would be more valid if you had have tried it. Like I'm thinking about that Macca's dude who ate Macca's solely for a long time. He could have known that from the outset, but he chose not to make assumptions because when you make an assumption, you are a jerk.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that's quite how the saying goes.
No.
No, it's close though. It's close.
I hear you, Brad, saying that it wastes your time. And I'm thinking, if it wasn't as funny, maybe I'd download it. But I've also found that I've increased in myself a greater self-discipline. Because I reckon I was spending, what did I say last time? Like 45 minutes to an hour almost a day. I don't reckon I've spent 45 minutes to an hour on it all week.
Well done.
So I don't know if I'm just off the bandwagon again now.
Yeah, I was about to say, why don't you just delete it then?
Because when I do use it, I really enjoy it. It's like YouTube. I could waste hours on YouTube or on Netflix, or I could waste hours on Audible or on Kindle. And I'm sure people do waste hours on reading their books.
Well, let me just pull up this article about how the US government stopped people from listening to Audible. Hang on.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to find. Just type in why Audible is evil. It'll be something to do with Amazon.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brad, for testing it out. Thank you, Will, for going halfway. Brad, you're a disappointment. Ben, you're a disappointment to the podcast.
You're an anti-disestablishment to the podcast.
Yeah. I just hate being told what to do. That's kind of what it gets down to.
Earlier this season, or last season actually, we had a big conversation around bed sheets. And earlier this season, I made a recommend to bed sheets and told the Joeys that I would follow that up a little while later after having used them and washed them a couple more times. And I would like to feedback that my microfiber bed sheets are the best bed sheets I've ever owned. So much so that I've gone back and bought another 2 pairs just this week.
Wow.
Well,
That's awesome.
There you go.
That's such a find.
It's a
Because
fine.
you talked about it a few weeks ago, and you're like we got to hold and wait and see because you'd only just got them. But that's amazing to know that they're that good.
The softest sheets I've ever laid in, and I was a little bit hesitant as to how they'd last up. But we're probably going on maybe 2 months now, so that's what I've used them 4 weeks. Week on, week off, and they're going great.
Oh
They're
yeah,
going
sure.
really, really well.
I think the better test would have been if you had just kept them on for 8 weeks straight.
I don't know about that.
Bed sheets are like that one thing. If I was like ostentatiously rich, right, and could have like all the things in the world, the one thing I would really want would be fresh bed sheets every day.
Every day?
Every day. There's nothing like that fresh bed sheet feel.
Is it better than a fresh towel out of the dryer or something like that?
Yes, it is. 100%.
Ooh, I disagree. But anyway, this is not about an argument. This is about recapping James's purchase.
I was going to say, every time I hop into bed, I'm smiling anyway, but the smile doubles when there's nice fresh bed sheets. So anyway, I might have to pick up some of those sheets so I smile even bigger.
Mate, they feel like fresh bed sheets every time you jump in.
Awesome.
Great.
Send me the link.
There you go.
I will.
Cool.
Moving
Thank you.
on.
So moving on, many of our listeners will know that earlier in the season, I
think Will should take this one.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, over to you, Will.
Over to me. Well, Ben graciously ranted to us about his real dislike of coffee. And I was actually right there with him on board the train of disliking coffee. But he suggested green tea as an alternative because there was no caffeine in it, because caffeine was one of the reasons to not drink coffee. And we did do some research, and it turns out there is actually caffeine in green tea. It has an average of 25 milligrams of caffeine per cup, which equates to about 1/6 of your standard coffee shot.
Sick burn. Ooh.
Mate.
So while not a huge portion, there is some caffeine in it, but I would recommend drinking green tea anyway because it is really good for you. And I would highly recommend not drinking coffee because I had one for the first time in about 15 years a couple of weeks ago, and it was disgusting. I cannot believe people pay money for that. The boys, I don't know if graciously.
All right, that's enough, Will.
Ben,
what's your rebuttal?
Well, I don't. Am I meant to be rebuttaling anything? Because I feel like Will's on my side. I feel like he's like, we just wanted to note that there is a little amount of caffeine in green tea, but I do consider what Ben said to be accurate. So,
That's true.
What I really want to know is, did the coffee go through you real quick, Will? Because you hadn't had one forever. Straight through.
It was not too bad, actually, to be honest. I was surprised. I had it at 9:30 at night, which was definitely a terrible decision.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But I still managed to get to sleep by 1:30 in the morning. So that's like normal bedtime for me. So it didn't really have any sort of effect.
Which is still insane, Will.
Yeah.
I've got feedback. I learnt my coffee limit today. I've had 3 coffees today, and my right eye has been twitching.
Yeah. That's your limit.
I think that's also stress related, but I think coffee makes you feel more stressed sometimes when you've had that much.
Yeah, it can make you feel more anxious. So why would you want to feel more anxious?
I wouldn't have got through the day without it. So there's also that.
Just have a
That's
big
fair.
cold glass of milk instead.
Yeah. I like that. Just to add to this, because I know that there's like a whole bunch of things that have random amounts of coffee in it. I just quickly Googled random things that have caffeine in it. So things like some cereals have 11 milligrams of coffee in it. Hot chocolates have 9 milligrams. And apparently decaffeinated coffee still has 12 milligrams of coffee. So, caffeine in it. So you just got to be careful out there, people. Just really check what's going on.
Big Coffee's been lying to us all this time. Decaf's not really decaf.
Yeah, but in percentages, it's less than 10% of what a normal coffee's got. So you're fine. Whatever. Don't stress about it. But thanks for clarifying that, Will, and also thanks for staying true to the anti-coffee revolution.
Absolutely.
Together, we'll bring it down.
We will indeed.
You're delusional. Awesome. Hey, I got tongue twisted in one of our episodes this week when I was trying to talk about the Princess Diaries, and I couldn't remember the country that they came from, but it's Geneva. Roocap, done.
That's good.
Great. That was amazing. I love that. I feel like we're doing a lot of Roocaps of James because I think he obviously bought a lot of stuff this season.
So
Yeah.
much
I've
came
been
from
bringing a
last
lot to the
season's recap.
podcast, boys.
I've
I
been
was going to recap on that later. I think you boys need to up your game, but that's okay.
Hey. I've been knitting for like a whole... How much this cost me?
Like an hour. There is one. I made that super quick because there is one thing I forgot to put in our recap list, which is Brad talked about how good it would be to leave the Monarch. And I've been following that up a little bit. And I've actually decided it's probably not in our best interest anytime soon to be leaving the Monarch for a couple of reasons. Number one is just money. We just really can't afford to do it, Brad. And I think we would go under much more quicker.
Well, maybe in this current climate, sure. But like, give it a few years.
Oh, mate, I'm only about instantaneous change. So I'm not in it for the process.
Fine. You're wrong, but you're fine.
All right, cool. Done.
Cool. Done. Well, speaking of things that James has bought, we had a bit of a battle earlier on in the season where James and I were for something and Ben and Will were for something else. And we decided that James was going to get that new guitar pedal. He could sell his amp, sell all his stuff. I didn't want you to sell it, mate, but you sold it and you got the pedal. How is it?
Mate, this pedal is lit. It's
Is
the
it?
best thing. See, I'm cool because I'm on TikTok. It's
I think you might have just given yourself the ultimate anti-TikTok argument just then.
Word.
I'm cool because I'm on TikTok.
Yeah, and because you said lit.
Bit old school.
Oh, rip.
R.I.P. As Brad has said earlier on this season.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely regret.
Hey, it's been going fantastic, to be completely honest. Initially, it took me a lot of time to like get started and to get used to it. But the learning curve has not been nearly as steep as analog stuff. And I'm stoked. I've had a couple of test runs through with electric guitars, with acoustic guitars. I did some recording with it as well for a theme song I made. And I'm absolutely stoked with this pedal. Couldn't recommend it enough. I haven't sold my other pedals yet. I need to get onto that ASAP. That's my job for next week. But this pedal has been killing it. I think you should all go out and buy Helix.
Wow, there you go.
Can I plug my sax into it?
You probably could. Does your sax have a microphone?
It does not.
How do you amplify your sax?
I usually put a mic in front of it.
Well, you could plug that mic into it.
Can I get effects like a bit of wah, a bit of
Definitely.
reverb?
Mate, in an instant.
Interesting.
But
That could be
it
cool.
won't solve your cracked cork.
It will not. Only cork grease will do that.
I love it. It did sound good the other day when we heard it in person, James, so I was very impressed.
Thanks,
It was
guys.
very
it-
lit.
I think it
Very lit.
improved your sound just by 20%.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah,
when
well
was
done.
that? Oh, the acoustic.
Yeah. Sounded pristine.
It'd be hard for you to know. You came late. Hashtag
Correct.
noticed.
I am glad though that it will help you play while still having a baby. You can play, put it in your ears. I am happy for you, mate. Happy to change my opinion on that.
Oh, thanks, Braddles.
No
My
worries.
eyes twitching.
Oh, no.
Lay off the coffee.
All right. Moving on. Brad, this season, one of your recommends was to go towards hankies. Thank you for demonstrating it right now.
No worries.
Is that you don't like tissues. Instead, you like to carry a hanky around with you. And mate, I'd just like to recap that. And in a culture that is so anti-sneezing or coughing or blowing your nose in public at the moment, I'd love to know how you're going with the hanky situation.
Yeah, look, sometimes there are a few weird looks and a few like, why is he putting that back in his pocket? And I get it, but like hankies aren't for like the 1,000-time use thing. Like tissues, if you got a snotty nose, tissues all the way. Chuck them straight in the bin so you're not spreading germs around. But if you're out and about suffer from a bit of hay fever or allergic rhinitis like I do, hanky's perfect for that. You just kind of whip it out, it's not blowing it. It's never the goopy gross stuff. Put it back in, you're fine, all good.
It still just disgusts me at a visceral level. It makes me feel uneasy that you're just blowing your nose and then putting it back in your pocket, particularly in coronavirus season where it feels like we're very sensitive to germs at the moment. And you're just like, I'm just going to have a pocket full of them.
Yeah, I washed that pocket though.
Ugh. Do you ever wear your jeans the second time? Like, back-to-back days?
Sometimes.
Ring a rosy, pocket full of hankies.
Shivers.
Look, I get it. I did have a bit of a snotty nose last week, and I was out and about and had to use it once or twice, and it had that kind of gross snotty stuff in it, and that was very gross. In fact, I actually threw that hanky out because it was like,
ooh.
So it's not for that. It's for just the simple little, got a little sniffle, put it away, you're good.
I like to do what they call is it the farmer's blow?
Oh, the bushman blow?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Straight in the gutter?
Yeah, or on the grass.
Boys, quick question for you all. If we were to recommend an app for people to download to contact us, what would that app be?
Anchor.
Anchor, thank you. If you haven't downloaded Anchor yet, guys, make sure you download Anchor. I'm just trying to find one of our Joeys who called in about plate food versus bowl food.
Classic.
Right.
Yeah, but yes, it's on Anchor.
Well,
thanks, boys. Professional.
I'm going to quickly tap out of the hanky discussion.
Yeah, fair enough, because it was gross.
Yeah, not an ideal situation, Brad.
Yeah.
I know I'm outnumbered there, but that's fine.
Yeah, that is. Well, James, have you found that person? Have you found that comment yet?
Yeah.
I can give a bit of background info while you keep looking.
Let me put myself on mute and listen through to all of our Joey callers so I can find the right one.
Sure. So earlier this season, Jimmy Licious was talking about a delicious diet craze that he thought we could potentially recommend and potentially revolutionize the fitness and well-being industry with, which was the whole plates versus bowls diet. That some foods are meant to be on plates, some foods are meant to be on bowls. And if you have a good balance of both meals in your diet, then you are probably eating healthily, you're probably eating well, you're probably eating the right proportions, and you will probably look as slim as Jim if you get the bowls versus plates diet sorted out. So he talked about that extensively, but we have had a Joey call in with a bit of a dilemma around how do we execute the diet effectively. So hopefully James will be able to find that caller soon, but he hasn't yet. So you're still muted, James. So
yeah. Hold on. I think I've just remembered that this caller didn't call in and they've messaged us on Facebook.
I was going to say.
Thanks, Will.
Will's just in there quietly watching James sweat.
I was just thinking about it, and I was just about to go and look and go, I'm pretty sure it was a message because it was a message that was copy and pasted into our Roocap conversation thread.
Also, I was just thinking about this just before, but we have an email account that people could send stuff into as well, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I don't know if any of us monitor it though.
Well, maybe we should for season 3, I reckon.
Okay, great idea.
Yeah. I think that'd be the way to go.
Shotgun knot.
Shotgun knot. Great work, Will. Well done, Will.
I got to contribute something around here, don't I? Because I don't talk enough.
No, Will is our social media wizard, actually.
It's true.
Just for all our listeners.
Basically, every post you see on social media was the handiwork of Will.
All right. So our lovely Joey Justin has written in, and Will's going to recap them for us really quickly.
Good. So, yes, he had a question about a particular type of food that he really likes, that when he serves it up, it goes into a bowl. But if he goes and gets it in a restaurant, it gets served up on a plate. And that food is Thai green curry. And so he wanted to know, should it go always in a bowl or always on a plate? And he wanted us to make that decision. So what are the thoughts? Thai green curry, bowl or plate?
I don't think I've ever eaten a curry on a plate that I can think of.
Me either.
No. It definitely belongs in a bowl with a bit of rice, a bit of curry on top. And
Which
you're
place
away.
is he going to? Because I've never ever been to a Thai place or had a curry served to me on a plate.
I think it's a place that ran out of bowls, to be honest.
Yeah, or is it one of those situations where it's like, when you get a shared meal and it comes out in a bowl, but then you're serving it onto a plate?
Does it
And
come
then
out
you're
in a
eating it.
bowl, though? Oh, okay. No,
Yeah, because, it'll be like a bowl of
Yeah.
rice and then a bowl of the curry, and then you mix it together on a plate normally rather than a bowl.
We've
Actually, now
also
that you say that,
you go.
sorry, now that you say that, I have had that happen, and it was on my plate.
Correct.
But it came
that's
out in
true.
a bowl, so I would still class
Yeah.
that as bowl food. You've just chosen to transport it onto a plate.
Yeah, but also it proves that you can eat it as a plate food. So why does it need to come out in a bowl?
I now understand the conundrum. I still think it's a bowl food.
But if you had a plate and a bowl at that share table, I would still be putting the curry in my bowl.
Yeah.
I would put it on a plate.
Really? What would you put in the bowl?
I don't know, a soup.
A shared soup?
I would naturally serve up on plates 90% of the time.
Yeah, but you're wrong. That's the issue, I guess.
Yeah. That's fine, but you can't tell me what to do, James. So I'm going to keep plating it up.
I can tell you what to do. You can choose to listen to it or not.
Yeah, sorry. You can try and tell me what to do. I just won't do it. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Next time we get together and have the nug challenge, we're going to serve you nuggets in a bowl.
And I'll put them out onto the table, and then I'll eat them off the table.
Nuggets aren't a bowl food. But I've got...
It's true.
Here's an issue, though. We've recently got fancier bowls, which seem like a cross between a bowl and a plate. And
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Will's officially gone from the podcast. Is that enough?
done.
He's sick of this plate versus bowls debate. It's like, I'm out.
That's fair enough. I'm sick of it too. Justin Murray, curry should be in a bowl. I'm
I
sorry,
agree.
but I don't know why
I'm
you're on a plate.
I'm on the plate side, Justin. If that's your side, I'm with you. If
I
not,
wish I was
I'll
the
stand here alone.
administrator so I could mute Ben. I'm getting a pain today, Ben.
Do you just want a free 30 seconds to diss him, James? Make up for my efforts.
That's all right, mate.
No, I'd like to see Brad go around and diss everyone because he's pretty nice too. It would be really funny.
Yeah, it's season 3.
Yeah, good.
All right, great.
I'm for it.
Awesome. Well, I think this might be the quickest podcast in Kangaroo Court history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
Which is crazy because we've covered the most content we've ever covered in one episode too.
Wow. It must be the Gavels. How did we feel about them this season, boys?
Not a fan.
Gavels up.
Gavels up.
Gavels up.
Oh, Will's not even in his normal podcasting place at home and he's still got a gavel. That's great commitment to the podcast, Will. Ben?
Thanks, James. Really appreciate that.
I've still never bought a gavel, not even bothered to get a hammer. So
Didn't buy a gavel, didn't download TikTok. What is going on?
I think we're going to have to have an intervention in season 3 because I think Ben's decided he's too cool for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think in order to have him a viable member of our podcast, we're going to need to see a little demonstration of buy-in. Because speaking of demonstrations of buy-in, Will, would you have something to reveal to the rest of the podcasting community today?
That I do. After much peer pressure, I finally gave in and have purchased myself a proper microphone.
You sound
Finally.
so clear, Will.
That's commitment to the podcast, if I've ever seen it.
that is commitment to the
admirable.
podcast.
That's really admirable, Will.
Yeah,
Thank you. I had
great
to do
work,
some
Will.
self-reflecting and decide that it was indeed worth the expense for
Yeah.
Wow.
the improved quality of the podcast, so that the 30 seconds of talking that I do produce in 10 weeks is better heard than what it was previously.
That's good. That's good, Will.
mate.
Quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So,
Oh,
Good commitment.
thanks.
Will and I just switched screens.
Ooh,
I just switched positions on my Zoom chat.
that'll be fun to see if that happens in the recording.
Yeah,
All right.
great.
Well, that
Good
brings
season
to an end
2.
Season 2.
Should we have homework for the holidays?
Yeah, we should, but maybe we
Okay.
should talk about that offline. Or are you talking about a challenge that we need to do that our Joeys hold us accountable for?
I'm thinking, what if we just had something we all each bring to season 3 to show our commitment to the podcast?
Is Ben's a new attitude?
All I'm going to say about the commitment to the podcast is if I don't upload all of our files, there is no podcast. So I feel like that's all I need to say. I don't need to buy a gavel. I could throw my mic out because I hold all the power when it comes to uploading all of the content. So that's all I'm going to say. But I'm happy to have a challenge. I'm always up for challenges.
I think our challenge is to find a way to prove your commitment to the podcast by season 3, episode 1.
Okay.
So we've all got to do something that shows extra commitment.
Correct.
Like if I get a kangaroo tattoo, that would prove my commitment.
That would be amazing.
Boy.
Look, it would be incredible. It wouldn't be amazing, but it'd show your commitment there.
Do we get to have
Now,
input into what the kangaroo looks like?
Ooh,
No,
good
if
question,
Will got a kangaroo tattoo, now that would be amazing because I
Yeah.
know it would mean more to Will than it does to you, Ben.
It
Yeah, I'm
is
so flippant with my tattoos.
definitely not happening.
I like that though. We should all come back to episode 1 of season 3 with something that we go, here's what proves my commitment to the Kangaroo Court.
Yeah. This is why I should stay in the podcast.
I'm going to get myself a pet. I'm going to get myself a pet kangaroo.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do. I'll be the Kangaroo King instead of Tiger King.
Okay. Great. I'm loving it. Maybe we should recap. What is it? Recommend.
Yeah.
But that's good. Let's all come next season with our what is it? A demonstration of our commitment to the podcast. And there will be a loser.
Okay.
There's always a loser on the Kangaroo Court.
So the usual.
All right,
Fair
I
enough.
like it.
Awesome.
I like it.
Cool.
Cool. Good chats.
I'd like to kick off our recommends today. And I'm hesitant with this one today because I'm not sure if I've recommended this before. So tell me if I have, and then someone else can go and I'll find something else to recommend. But I want to recommend learning how to solve a
Yeah,
Rubik's
you've already done that one before. The well is drying up.
It is.
All right, boys, you go. Actually, no, I'm going to go again. My recommend for people of the podcast is to buy a cable with 3 different ends.
You've already talked about that before too.
I have not talked about this before. You're so full of it. This is my best friend. I have multiple devices. This charges every device. And the biggest hate I ever got being an Android user was that I didn't carry a charger for an iPhone. People would always say, hey, you got a charger? And I'd be like, yeah, I got a charger. It's the universal USB-C that every single device in the world uses.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, I got an iPhone. I don't use that charger. But my laptop does. Anyway, now I've got an iPhone charger on here as well.
Oh, you're an all-round good guy, James.
3 in 1. I can help everyone out in their needs. USB-C, mini USB, iPhone.
I actually feel like you're enabling weakness there, James, for the iPhone users.
Am I enabling weakness, Brad, or am I taking a leaf out of your booklet and caring for people?
Being generous, I suppose so. Yeah.
I don't like the slander towards the Apple user.
Show your commitment to the podcast, mate. Get an Android.
No, I'm checking the analytics on seeing who our users are. If we got more iPhone users or Android users.
I thought you
Yes!
would
It's 74% Apple users. So I think you guys should probably, and 3% Mac. So 3/4 of our listeners are actually Apple users. So I think you guys should put some respect on how you talk about us. That would be my advice. That'd be what I'd recommend.
I don't
Not
have
gonna
any
happen.
respect. I'm just aware that the new Apple update just released a bunch of things that Android has had. Like its biggest marketing ploy was what Android's been doing for the last 10 years. But other than that, Apple's great. I'm so
Apple's the
stoked they
best.
got widgets, right?
Fandangled new technology.
Wow. So
I'm gonna
fancy.
be so confused by it because I'm so far behind.
All right, who's the next recommend?
I'm happy to go because and this does come with a slight disclaimer. I know for some people this is nigh on impossible, but I've just started riding my bicycle to work, and it is a game changer to do because you arrive to work hot and sweaty, which is a real power play on your coworkers. It's just like I walked into a meeting the other day in shorts and a t-shirt in the middle of winter, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just super fit. I rode here." while you guys sat in your car when you live 5 minutes down the road. So I'd highly recommend riding to work, or at least knowing that you can do it. There's something about it. It's good for you. The actual thing that I was going to recommend about it is that I just feel really alert and ready for the day because I've taken on a challenge, I've overcome it. The blood's flowing. My brain's awake and alert. I'm not waking up anymore. It's a good feeling. So yeah.
I think the perception you think you're portraying is a little bit wrong, because I saw that and I was like, oh, Ben and Rach must have had a fight this morning.
Get on your bike, Ben.
No, not at all.
He's all hot and bothered and stressed out. Something terrible must have happened.
Well, now you know it's just I'm cycling. That's all it is.
There you go. Well, I might jump in because I've got to recommend to make your trip to work easier if you choose to not take Ben's recommend and you choose to drive in. And that is this wonderful little device right here. So it's a device.
Is that an Apple TV?
It is not. It is an Bluetooth transmitter. So it plugs straight into my aux function in my car because my car didn't quite come with Bluetooth connectivity by itself. So what I did is I bought this thing. And so my phone, this creates a Bluetooth network for my phone to hook into. And then the audio comes through the aux input on my radio. And so I can Bluetooth my phone to this and I can have Bluetooth music in my car. And it works with maps as well. So for navigation, I can have Bluetooth, like have it coming through my speakers, and it is awesome. So if your car doesn't have Bluetooth by default, I'd highly recommend getting yourself one of those Bluetooth transmitters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or
you save money on noise of your actual engine and just buy a car with Bluetooth.
What do you mean? It just comes through the radio like normal, like.
No, it's all right. It's all right, Will.
I think that's a great recommend.
Does your car have Bluetooth, Brad?
It does have Bluetooth.
Yeah, I bet it does.
That's all we'll say about that. Actually, on a similar theme, I'm a bit nervous about my recommend because it makes me feel like I've lost touch with the common man.
Oh, okay.
It's another podcast reference.
A few weeks ago, but I got the Pro controller for the Xbox.
Oh, nice.
Splurgy thing for me, just because I play a lot of games. It's kind of my downtime stuff. And this controller is amazing to play with. Like, I can customize paddles behind it. I can customize how far the triggers go in. It is a dream to play with. I've been surprised how heavy it is. So I know it's a bit ostentatious, but I actually love it. It's fantastic. And I've been using it like crazy.
Is that in matte black, or is it like got a leather or crystal feature or anything like that?
Yeah, it's a matte black. It's got silver paddles and stuff at the top, but it's got like really nice grippage around the hands here.
Oh yeah.
It's just nice to play with. Feels really good.
You can also get one of those custom thumb pads that go on the joysticks as well.
You can, yeah. So I haven't got those. I didn't want to spend that much money on it. But like the D-pad's a bit different, and I can change these out if I want to. But
so does the D-pad automatically got the angled bits?
It comes with it like this, yeah.
Wow.
But it comes with...
That makes so much easier to play Tony Hawk.
So much easier. Yeah, so that's my recommend. It's
I like it.
Yeah, a little ostentatious, but I have no regrets of the money I spent on that.
What's ostentatious mean, Brad? It makes me think of Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a bit too pricey. Bit too
Fair enough.
Haughty-taughty, snotty duty kind of.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brilliant. Good recommends, guys. Love it.
Yeah.
Great season, guys.
Yeah.
Great
It's been a
season.
great season.
Best season 2 we've ever done.
Probably best season 2 we'll ever do.
Yeah, you're right. Probably.
Possibly.
Wow.
I like it. Great work, guys. Will, do you have a special send-off for season 2?
Yeah, well, we hope you've really enjoyed being able to watch us do our podcast as an alternative to listening. But as we have mentioned, we are going to go back to an audio-only podcast from next season. So make sure you've got Anchor downloaded, or you're following us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts so you can listen to us. Keep sending through messages. We'd love to keep having our Joeys on through the audio to bring us great segments like what Matt brought us last week with the Would You Rather questions. But do subscribe to YouTube, because we will be using that platform for our challenges, like the Nug Challenge video that will be released at some point in the future. And yeah, make sure you like all the socials. And thank you for supporting us for 20 episodes.
And we've got a week off, don't we?
We will not be around next week, but you can look forward to an episode coming out in a couple of weeks' time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right, you're so good at that, Will.
Yeah. Now, are you going to sing the theme song on the way out? That'd be great.
Is that how it goes?
That's good.
It's pretty
I
good.
haven't listened to it.
Welcome to the Kangaroo Court podcast.
We should re-record that for the next season.
Yeah, I think
Up
so.
that game a bit.
Yeah. I mean, James is the jingle king, so I think we can come up with some pretty good jingles.
The Jingle King.
Jingle King. It's like the jungle. I don't know. King of the jungle, but different.
Who's the king of the jingle?
Jimmy. All right, guys.
Very good.
See you next
Great work.
season.
See you next season.
Woo! Season 3!
Woo! Court adjourned.